I'm seeing a lot of videos in which the presenter mistakes compound paths and compound shapes in Adobe Illustrator, but the difference can be quite important. So, hello to the Vector Garden YouTube channel. In this small series, we're going to take a look at how to create compound paths and compound shapes, what's the difference, why it matters, what you can use them for, and how to solve some issues that might appear when you use them. In the last video, we have discussed how to create compound paths and compound shapes. In this video, we're going to take a look at what you can do with them. Now, we have already seen that you need them when you want to punch a hole. You might also need to create them when you are designing a font, and depending on the font editor that you are using to create that font, you might need to create compound paths before importing that into the font editor. You might also need to create compound paths before sending something to your plotter. That all depends. You also need to create compound paths if you want to make a special kind of mask. So I've got an image here, and if you want to apply a mask that consists of several shapes, then you also need to make a compound path. So let's make several dots here, and I'm going to duplicate them and then select this and make some duplicates again, and then let's select all of them, and I'm going to group them now. So this is now a group, and when I select the image on top of that and go to Object, Clipping Mask, and make that, then you see that's not how it's supposed to be. So let's undo that, and let's select this and ungroup that, like this. Now I'm going to create the compound path and select both and go to Clipping Mask, Make, and then you see this is the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to undo that again, and again I'm going to release that compound path. And we can also do that with compound shapes. So if I am creating a compound shape here by holding down the Alt key and clicking on Unite, and then you see we've got a compound shape. Select both of them and go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, and you see that works as well. Let's undo that. If we are using them with the Pathfinder panel, then compound shapes can do a little more than just be subtracted or added. So let's start with this, and then let's go here, and I'm going to hold down the Alt key and click this, and we can take the group selection tool, and you see we can still move that around. Now that is something that is possible with compound paths as well. So let's put this inside, and then let's select them to both and go to compound path and make that. And now we have to be careful how to select them. So let's take this here, and you see I can move that around. You see it looks different when I move that outside, because with a compound path you cannot subtract if you have this kind of situation. That does not work. So let's move this to the side, and then let's see. So maybe I want to add something to that. So let's make a circle and put this here. Select them both, and then press the Alt key again and click here and add that. And then I'm going to create another circle, and then let's select all of them, press the Alt key and subtract that. You see all of this is live. You can take the group selection tool and move everything around, and then this gets changed. So this is one of the first live elements in Illustrator. So like Live Paint, this allows you to build a logo or something, and you can still move things around, but be able to present it. And you see, when you take a look at this in the layers panel, then you can dive in here and you see all of them are still there. And there are compound shapes inside compound shapes inside compound shapes. A compound path, on the other hand, is just this one single entry, although they are multiple. So let's select this one. This is a compound shape. So let's make a duplicate of it and let's release the compound shape. And again, let's make a compound path like this. And then you see all of them are just one entry in the layers panel, although there are multiple paths, obviously. And in here, we've got all those paths in the compound shape, and the compound path is just one, like this. And also, it can be hierarchical, but there's more. I'm going to select one of them, and let's not just select it, but I'm going to target it. So I'm clicking the target symbol. If you are not sure what targeting, selecting, and all of this is, I'm going to link a video in the description where you can see that difference. Let's go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and apply a zigzag, like this. And you see, we've got inside of all of this, there's one path that has this zigzag applied. Let's go on. Let's have some text like this. And I'm going to color this in green. And this time we're going to use yet another method. So let's just go to this one here. The text is still live. And you see it gets added. So we've got this here. This is the text. And you can still select that and edit that. But as you see, it all has the same color. So that's a huge difference to Live Paint, where you can also have different colors inside. This is always the same. Let's go on. I'm going to use a symbol. So let's take this one, and I'm going to drag it out of here like this. Select them all, and let's add that. Again, hold down the Alt key and add that. The color, again, is the same afterwards, but we have all of this in here. We've got the symbol instance, we've got the text, all of these shapes and compound shapes inside compound shapes inside compound shapes. So that is a rather complex situation that you have here, and you can do all that you usually want to do to a symbol. You can do here, and you can still move that around. Also, we can change the font here, and you see it updates. Now, if you want to get rid of all of that, then you can expand it. And you see, when you do that, you get a compound path like this. So that's what you can use them for and what can be inside of both of them.